Oh, so when NASA catfishes us, that's called science and progress. But if I do it, it's called lying and disingenuous. The double standard of it all. Hi friends, thank you for watching. My name is Mia and this is My Virtual Vanity, a place where we both love makeup and we are quite critical of it. Today I am bringing you a collaboration with my beautiful friend Skye. I will link down her channel below. Listen, I really love her. She's a big old nerd, just like me. She loves colorful makeup. Her looks always inspire me. Her color combos, her love for sparkle. I am really inspired by her work, and her channel is such a cute, colorful place to be in. Honestly, can't praise her enough. Go check her out. So the idea for this collaboration came to me as I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw her. And I fell in love. She's so beautiful. I want to love her. I want to be her. But then I found out I was catfished. Because you see, this planet, which is called TOI 1338b, does not look like this. The images attached to it were actually a digital composite created by the Among Space bot. At AmongBot on Twitter, creates a bunch of digital art of planets that may or may not exist out there in the heavens. And that got me thinking, how much of what NASA and other space agencies show us is true versus how much of those photos is fabricated? And is fabricated even a good and accurate word to use? Today, I am going to do a look inspired by this beautiful digital planet over here. And I'm also going to talk a bit about how NASA creates those beautiful, colorful space pictures that seem to go viral all of the time. And how they are and are not akin to influencers face tuning their photos. I've talked enough. Let's get to doing the makeup. I'm going to start with my base. I'm going to start with a glowy primer, MAC Pink Light, to give to my face that hydration and glow that I naturally do not have because I am as dry as British humor. And that is going to be followed by the Cover FX Pore Blurring Primer, one of my favorites that I'm trying to pan because it is getting ancient. I enjoy having a targeted approach to my priming. I don't use one type of primer everywhere on my face. I use priming depending on the skin concerns that I have, so luminous primers where I want to be luminous, hydrating primers where I want to be hydrated, pore blurring primers in the T-zone where my pores are more evident, and so on and so forth. I'm trying to make it work for me, not just add another layer on my face. Speaking of pores, you know how a lot of people complain that influencers over-edit their skin and that no one's skin looks as flawless in real life? Counterpoint. No one's skin looks in real life how it does when it's being picked up by a 4K HD camera. And that's the whole thing. The naked eye does not pick up the same things that a high-tech camera would, does not pick up the same things that a video camera would, does not pick up the same things that the Hubble telescope does. The tools that NASA uses to get those images will not ever pick up the same things that you do with the naked eye. The naked eye, well, the brain applies a filter over everything anyway, because if you were to notice every single detail like you would with a macro camera, you would stir fry your brain by the amount of data that it could not process. We selectively see things. Yes, you might see someone's skin texture in real life, but you will not see every single pore like you would in a close-up shot of someone's face taken with a 4K camera. So just like someone would edit their skin taken in macro mode, so does NASA try to edit their images to be useful and showcase certain things and not be a jumble of data that cannot be processed. NASA face tunes, so to say, their images to make sure that whatever we see in them is the most useful picture that we can get, not a raw image. of whatever. I'm going to use a new product for me for the foundation. This is the Revolution Super Dewy Skin Tint Tinted Moisturizer, and I have the shade Light. I feel it is just a touch, a smidge too light for me, but I can make it work. So I've got pretty big prescriptions and I can't really tell in detail how this looks, but from what I can see, it's got a very pretty satin low coverage finish, and I'm really liking this. I'm going to try to explain this as simply as possible, and if I'm wrong, please feel free to correct me in the comments down below. What is a telescope? A telescope is basically a big bucket that is really good at catching light and processing it to a way that it gives an intelligible output. You look at the stars, right? You look at the sky. The eye can only do so much. It can only capture so much light. That is why if you look at the night sky, everything is dark except the stars. That's because your eye was not made, did not evolve to capture the type of light that would be needed to give the cosmos clarity. Another difference between the naked eye and a telescope is that your eye has certain receptacles that help it distinguish different colors from each other. A telescope does not. A telescope only catches light without color. So the telescope, together with the algorithms that NASA has, together with other devices that detect things such as composition of what the telescope saw, temperature, infrared light, and all other sort of sciencey stuff that make the world what it is but we cannot see, results in a type of composite image. It's basically like layers in Photoshop. Different planes of existence, so to say, different ways to see the world that are not open to us because we only have one set of eyes, and they adapted to being, you know, material creatures that only care about what they can see, what they can hunt historically. We do not see infrared, we do not see temperatures. Snakes, for example, beautiful creature, majestically designed, they have heat sensors. We do not. We only see a certain visible part of the light spectrum. That's why cats and dogs see color much different than us. We would call them colorblind, but are we colorblind or are they actually? There's a certain type of shrimp or mollusk, something in the sea without a spine anyway, that can see many more colors than we do. Like, imagine how the world would look through that creature's eyes. And when you start reading about the different ways that different things and different creatures see the world, you realize that what we see is inherently limited. And I would say flawed, but flawed in the sense that it is not complete. Let's start with the actual look before I get ahead of myself. And I'm first going to grab this green from the Huda Beauty Neon Green. Honestly, she didn't brand this correctly. This is a beautiful pastel palette. If she had branded it as spring pastels, that would have been much better. Neon, arguably not so much. I am then going to use these two cooler tones from the Beauty Bay Pastels palette. I would not recommend this to anyone darker than a paper bag, but I've been really enjoying it because, as you may have noticed, I lack pigment. mostly. So how does NASA get all of those pretty colorful images? They basically overimpose a bunch of stuff and selectively color other stuff, depending on temperature, on the composition, on what they want to showcase, because those images, first and foremost, are not there to be your cool wallpaper, and they're not there to, make viral Etsy dresses or whatever. They're there as a scientific means of study for what that telescope catches. Let's say you've got this, I don't know, huge nebula made of different things. It's very scientifically useful to color code those things and be like, oh, look, that nebula is blue because it has I don't know what in its composition, and it's got a yellow ring next to it because thingamabob scientific element is affecting the rest and playing a role in how this nebula was created. And oh, look, the area around that star is red because we colored it depending on the temperature as opposed to the composition, so that means that that star is really hot. Basically, they're doing the same thing that influencers do when they post looks on Instagram. They're blurring out what isn't of interest to you, aka, I don't know, the bags under their eyes, and leaving unprocessed and leaving detailed what they want you to see, aka deep eye look. Of course, that's kind of sus if they do that when they want to showcase their base application skills, but this is not the video about that. We're talking about NASA, right? Yeah, that's basically the gist of it. I thought I was getting catfished, but it looks like they're doing the same thing that we do on Instagram, only it's for the betterment of humankind. It's for science. It's to actually get an understanding of the heavens. Also, fun fact, that planet was discovered by a 17-year-old interning with NASA. Meanwhile, me, at 17, I was too busy watching reruns of Naruto and reading smut Harry Potter fanfiction. God has favorites, truly. That has been it. I hope you guys enjoyed this cutesy video. I hope you guys like the look. I mostly did it like as a color contrast thing because the processed image was pink with blues, with greens, with teals, and I decided to go for a very pink baby doll base and then use the eyes as the point of contrast. That was basically my explanation for how I came up with this look. Please don't forget to check out Skye's video. You will love her looks. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please don't forget to have a wonderful morning, evening, second breakfast, third lunch, or whatever it is you're from. Bye!